Welcome back, everybody. We are Rough Draft Research. You are the audience, and together we are on a quest for Dynasty Domination. How's it going over there, Daniel?
Going well, going swell, getting amped up. Too much NFL activity in the offseason. They've really got the script humming already. Love
Yeah,
it.
it's going for sure. We are in the thick of the offseason. It's fun. Free agency is kind of cooling off a little bit, been some crazy moves, but we are here to continue the Rough Draft Research Dynasty Rookie Tournament. So
Right.
you've heard the South, you've heard the West. We're going to talk about the Atlantic. And for one more time, for the people in the back, Atlantic, to divide these divisions up and make it fair, that's any state that touches the Atlantic Ocean. So you're going to hear some southern states. You got your Georgias, you got your Floridas, you got your Carolinas. They're all going to be here. So sorry, I know Southern Pride is a real thing, but you're not in the South for this.
Not here, not
Speaking
here.
of, we've got our number one seed coming out of the University of Miami, Florida, not Ohio. CJ Daniels, wide receiver, going up against the 16 seed Eli Heidenreich from Navy. That's our first Armed Forces team ever in this tournament. I think Daniels definitely wins, but I don't know that Daniels would be the one seed had I not done this seeding quite a bit ago.
Yeah, I do scratch the head at that one, but I think it's respect, I think it's
Yeah,
potential. I think he's still a hot name. But I think he advances,
for sure.
the one seed helped him out, get past the number 16 here.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't know about you. This Eli is an enigma, dude.
Yeah, he's tough.
Like, what is going on? A running back
Mm.
with almost 2,000 receiving yards in
Yeah.
3 years that has led Navy all 3 of his years in receiving
Hmm.
and getting 16 total air scores in that span. Yet we're calling him a running back,
Yeah.
which is cool because he did have 1,150 yards and 7 scores on the ground over that span
Yeah.
as well.
Hmm. It's
But
interesting because some places you look do list him as a wide receiver.
okay,
NFL Draft Buzz, for instance, has him as a wide receiver.
I see.
But he ran with the running backs at the combine.
Right, and that's
So that's what we're going with. But yeah, he's super versatile. You already kind of mentioned it, but I mean, 1,100 rushing yards to 1,900 receiving yards. They lined him up at receiver a
a
lot. Like
lot.
34% of his time he was in the slot, 34% of the other time he was out wide. I mean, he's basically just a hybrid gadget receiving threat at running back that I think some teams could find a lot to do with him, especially given the combine he had. I mean,
Dude,
4.4 flat or 4.44, sorry, and then a 1.55 10-yard split for Mr. Heidenreich. That's really, really quick. And he's what, 198, 6 foot. So he's like a good size, a little under what we want. And that's kind of, but holy cow, man. Yeah, he's an interesting one. It's hard to really place what somebody's going to do with him at the next level.
yeah, I looked at him and I kind of describe him. I want to describe him. He played like a miniature tight end, you know?
Yeah.
Like he had some inline snaps
Hmm.
and I it's kind of strange because he was so undefinable. It was seriously just kind of mind-blowing and really fun to watch. But like he played at Navy, and you
Mm.
have to think the quarterback play probably capped like what his true ceiling is. Like you can't perceive what the potential is for a player like this. But I mean, I think he could get some traction and have some success at the next level. It's just impossible to know for sure.
Yeah.
We like cut and dry. We like to see, promise of and proof
Yeah.
going into the, no snaps played in the NFL. And he
Hmm.
doesn't offer you that, but what he does offer you is like kind of a blank page that you could almost create whatever you want to. I mean, it's good size to play a dynamic role like that and good enough speed. And he's got production. Like this is pretty bizarre, honestly. And I'm gonna keep an eye on him just to see the landing spot. because some people love making like weird little projects out of positionless players.
Yeah.
So we'll
Feels
see
like a
what he ends
Ram.
up doing.
He feels like a Rams guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just to cap it, like Navy was throwing him some bombs, though, and he was tracking them well. Like, I would have been skeptical on the speed coming out of Navy, except the 40 proved it. And yeah, he's super interesting, man, but definitely not enough to beat CJ Daniels here. So CJ Daniels is going to move on. Eli Heidenreich is staying put, but probably going to be drafted. Next up, we got our 8 seed Jamari Taylor, running back out of Virginia, going up against the 9 seed small school standout Ted Hurst from Georgia State, wide receiver. This was an interesting one for me. I thought I was really close. I want to see what you think here.
Honestly, I went with Ted Hurst as the winner.
Mm,
And really, he backs it up. I mean, he's young,
yep.
he's extremely fast,
Hmm.
6'4", 206 with a 4.42. And I mean, he played well. I was
Yeah,
pretty seriously impressed at what I was seeing statistically and like with the efficiency. So I went with it. I don't know if you agree with me or
I
if,
do. Yeah, that's where I landed. He was one of those guys that we do this pod where the loser we talk about and the winner we move on. So it's in our
yep,
interest to figure out who we think's gonna win and lose to write more notes about. But this was when I had to split right down the middle. But I did.
okay.
I agree. I did land on Hurst for everything you said. Production profile is nice. Obviously, he's coming out of a smaller school, so you get worried about that. But the combine kind of makes you worry less when he has that athletic testing. And then speaking on the combine, just getting into um, Jamari Taylor, like he kind of disappointed me at the combine. Like it wasn't anything crazy. He was fine during the drills. It just all kind of felt very meh, which I was shocked by because we both liked him a lot, and his production has been great over the last few years. So, um, I ended up going with Hurst. I do like some stuff about Taylor. I like his burst. I like his dual threat ability. I would have liked the 40 to really see more accurately um, what he did, but he also like he did the other drills, which always scares me. Like, why didn't you do the 40
Hmm.
if you're gonna do everything else? But his burst does seem better than his long speed, so I do think that might have been it. Is that like because he's scored fairly well. Well, not really actually. 38th
Yeah.
percentile burst score. Never mind. So not good. So yeah, I liked Taylor, but I just think Hurst took it away.
Yeah, I agree with you. Taylor definitely disappointed with his athleticism because he offered a lot of things that really made it seem like he was going to come out and make a name for himself in this tournament. He was, number two behind Emmett Johnson in receptions,
Mm.
coming out with 43 catches. And then he really did well with the missed tackles forced, having 55 on the year. Big volume, over 200 carries, 1,000 yards, 14 scores. So, like, he obviously had a workhorse and dual threat ability. So you wanted to see him come out and put down some athleticism to back it up. That's kind of the missing factor, but he didn't. He only had like 20 bench press reps, which is kind of a low number
Hmm.
when it comes to running backs. So it just kind of seemed like he's got good game, good on-field presence. But you got to be a little stouter than that. He's right at 199. So you need to have the speed, you need to have the burst to overcome that. And he's 24 years old, so
Yeah,
it was just enough. And I got a little, intrigued by the Hurst
Hurst is fun.
profile. So
Yeah,
I'm just going to see where that leads us.
he's been getting a lot of smoke too. I feel like he's the name that people are talking about. So yeah, so Ted Hurst moves on. I think he's the only small school standout to win, if I'm not mistaken, or at least so far.
So
So that's pretty fun. But the 9 seed Ted Hurst moving on, 8 seed
gotcha.
Jamari Taylor staying put. So next up, we got the 5 seed quarterback Carson Beck out of Miami going up against the 12 seed Oscar Delp tight end out of Georgia. I don't want any quarterbacks to move on, but I find it hard for me to vote for Delp. Tell me why I'm wrong.
I'll tell you why you're right. I have
Okay.
Beck moving on too.
Yeah.
And it's 1,000% that run in the second half of the national championship when he
Hmm.
was just like, you know, they were having so much time getting in the end zone. They had so many opportunities, you know, a couple of picks or whatever cost him any competitive edge in that game. And he was just like, enough is enough. And, you know, he just
Yeah.
went in and rushed that touchdown in. And I gained a lot of respect for him there, and obviously what he did with Miami, taking him to the championship. I don't think that anyone saw that coming. So you gotta think he's a hell of a quarterback as far as like just being a competitor and getting the job done.
Yeah.
Um, and you compare that to Delp, and I mean, you know, it is what
Yeah.
it is.
Delp is pretty much just a decent depth tight end who can block, and like
Yeah.
that's about it. He doesn't stand out very well. I do think he'll end up getting drafted because they like
Hmm.
blocking tight ends, and you need them, especially all the 12 personnel they like to run lately. So 12, 13 even. So yeah, I think he gets drafted, but I don't think he's a fantasy relevant guy. I
Hmm.
don't like Beck either, really, but he does move on here. So
I
Carson
think
Beck
so.
moving on. Oscar Delp staying put. So we got another tight end coming up, but he's the
Okay.
4 seed in Justin Jolly, tight end for NC State, going up against the 13 seed, another Georgia boy, Colby Young, wide receiver. Uh, I feel like Jolly's pretty on the nose taking this one, right?
Oh, big time.
Yeah,
Hmm.
like Jolly
Yeah,
quite a bit.
I I thought Colby Young was interesting though. He's I don't know. My notes are
Yeah.
fun, I guess, or funny, but he's not without his ability as a
Hmm.
receiver. The production doesn't scream, I'm ready for the NFL.
Yeah.
Um, and the thing that with him, he's 6'5", 220, but you watch him play and he doesn't play like a big receiver. He doesn't
Mm.
maximize his catch radius. There's no physicality to his game. You know, he's like kind of cradle catching like like a little slot guy, but he's 6'5", 220.
Yeah.
It didn't match what he is and what he did. It just didn't look like it was you know, maximizing his potential at all. So I don't really think he's got too much potential.
Yeah, I could see where you're coming from there. All his highs were in his sophomore year as well. His contested catch rate is good, 57% for his career, and that's like the best part about him. The production profile and the age are really worrying to me for him. Just feels like a solid depth piece. And then when I think of that and like the age, it kind of makes me think of Devon Villay.
Oof, yeah.
So like, yeah, I think that's pretty much all that needs to be said about Mr. Young here. Like the West, I think the Atlantic bracket is one of that is like the weaker side, but we got some stars. So one of
That's
them
true.
being Justin Jolly, who moves on, and Colby Young is going to stay put there. Next up, we got the 6 seed Antonio Williams, wide receiver out of Clemson, going up against the 11 seed Eric Rivers, wide receiver out of Georgia Tech. How'd you land here?
Um, this one was really hard for me.
Mhm.
I think I am choosing Williams.
Yeah.
I think he just kind of jumped out to me as ability to take his game to the next level. I do
Hmm.
like Rivers for a few different reasons, but Williams for me wins. What do you think?
I agree. They both had really strong combines, and I kind of just went with the guy that I think has a higher chance to succeed at the next level.
Yeah.
With the size on Rivers, he's more of an injury risk, although Williams has already been injured before, so like who knows there. But then even like the age, Williams will be 22 to start the year, Rivers is 24 to start the year. The contested catches swing Williams' way as well, 25 of 51 compared to 10 of 27 for Rivers. I just think Williams has more to his game right now.
Sure.
And Rivers kind of seems like he might fall into like a Marvin Mims role,
Hmm.
or like a special teams role. I mean, he had a great 40 time, and the 10-yard split was incredible, the 152. So somebody's gonna really, really like him, but I feel like he'll just fall into like a deep ball guy. And then Williams will be more in line for like a actual wide receiver production role, and he has more time to develop into that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but I mean, when you watch him, he's using that 4-3-5. Like he's flying all
Yeah, oh
over the
yeah.
field.
Torching
Uh,
folks.
it looked pretty sharp, good
Yeah.
variety in his usage, wasn't necessarily locked in the slot. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. Yeah, 176 pounds
Yeah,
scares me. So,
for sure. All right, so Antonio Williams, we got moving on, and Eric Rivers is staying put. Next up, we got the 3 seed, your boy Zachariah Branch out of Georgia, wide receiver, going up against the 14 seed J. Michael Strudevant, wide receiver
Studevant.
out of Florida. This one's not close, but Strudevant's Combine really will turn heads, man. 4'4", he's tall, 6'3", 207, 4'4", 154 on the 10-yard split, 91st percentile burst score. Decent numbers on the 50-50 balls. He's another guy that it's production profile for me. His best season was 755 yards in his second year. That was his first year starting with 7 scores. And then everything, including opportunities, falls from there for him. 102 targets in year one, 70 the next year, 40 the next year, 50 the next year. Only a 56.8% reception percentage and an 11.2% drop percentage. Granted, that was mostly down to 1 year where he had 11 drops, no more than three any other year. But the year he had 11 drops was the year he had the most targets. So I don't know. There were things to like. He's very athletic, needs to round out his game, but I'm all for taking stabs on like athletic sleepers in late rounds, so maybe, but he's not particularly a guy for me.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about this best year of his career in 2022. Like the
Yeah.
guy, he's going to be 24 when the season starts. Um, and after that year, that great, sophomore first year of production at Cal, he immediately transfers.
Mm.
He's at 3 schools over 5 years, and I mean, he looks good on the field. He's got really good like timing at the catch point, and he can catch in stride. He's got this like weird catch style where he catches like in his lower body area. Like I
Hmm.
don't know why he catches the ball so low. Um, but like there's got to be something going on. The way he looked on the screen, some of the highlight success doesn't match the usage. Like if he's really that dynamic all the time,
Yeah.
I would think he would be kind of popping off. And I don't understand the transferring, after having a good year in
Yeah,
year
that is
two with
weird.
Cal.
Yeah.
And then it
Other
just
than
never
just,
really took off from there either. So
yeah, maybe location trying to play in the SEC or something. I don't know.
I don't
But
know. He's,
um go ahead.
I was just say, yeah, he went from Cal to UCLA and
Oh,
then to
for yeah,
Florida.
fuck. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah,
So it
so
didn't
it's
make any
like,
sense.
yeah, no, I mean, it doesn't make sense to have that kind of a sophomore year and then
Just
just not
bail.
stay put. But
Yeah,
who
there's something
knows?
going on there. But yeah, so the 3 seed Zachariah Branch moves on fairly easily with J. Michael Strudevant staying put. Next up, we get the 7 seed Clade Kubnick, quarterback out of Clemson, going up against the 10 seed Damon Claiborne, running back out of Wake Forest. I will not allow another quarterback to get through. I like Damon Claiborne's potential, even though he's a bit undersized, but I don't like Cade Klubnik, so that's my vote. I'm gonna go Claiborne here.
Yeah, you can't not give Claiborne some love, dude. That guy was pretty good, and with all these, Kenneth Walker parallels to the Wake Forest times,
Hey,
I'm forcing this to be a unnecessary comparison that doesn't really make sense, but
quite a bit
um,
smaller, but
yeah, absolutely. But Klubnik, dude, he was supposed to be the guy,
yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
I just remember everyone had it circled. It was, Clemson LSU, the first game of the year. It was supposed to be Nessmeyer versus Klubnik. The
Hmm.
who's going to be NFL pick number one, who's going to be
Yeah.
number two, And these guys, like, they might not even, I don't know what's going to happen in the NFL draft. I'm sure they'll get picked up by the end of round three or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, he just didn't take the step forward after that 3,600 yard junior year. He stepped back, didn't
Mm.
really take off. I mean, his efficiency and all of his stats are pretty flat
Yeah.
throughout his career, but they are pretty average as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Nothing crazy.
yeah, he's
Um,
he's 6'2", 207. He doesn't have any like there's no X factor to his
mm-mm.
game. He doesn't really do multiple reads consistently.
No.
And he doesn't run the ball. So like what are we doing here?
Yeah, for real. He gets locked into that first read, like you said, way too often. I don't think he has like the deep field arm strength to operate successfully at the NFL level. Um, and I don't, like you're saying, he's pretty fairly consistent. So I don't know that he'll lose you a lot of games, but he's not going to win you a lot of games
No.
either. He's just decent at like managing it and not putting the ball up for grabs. And then yeah, we want to talk about 2024. That's his best year, talking about number one overall pick after that. Should have come out, to be honest. But even if you look at the games, his best games were against Appalachian State, NC State, Pittsburgh, and then Texas, which was a decent matchup. But those were like his best games that year. Everything else was kind of fairly middling. And I think he has accuracy issues that show up pretty often, man. Like 63.2% completion percentage for his career. And that was entirely bolstered by a 65% completion percentage this year in a down year for him. If you take this year out, it was 61.8. I mean, shit, Taylor Green had a 60. Like,
Ouch. Dude, don't
so
even say that. Yeah.
I
Wow.
just I don't like him. He's staying put to me for sure.
Okay, yeah, leave him behind. We never have to talk to him about him again. All right.
For real. All right. So the 7 seed gets upset by the 10 seed, Damon Claiborne. Moving on to the round of 32. So our last matchup here in the Atlantic bracket is the 15 seed, another Clemson boy, Adam Randall, running back, going up against the 2 seed in
What are we
Skylar
doing?
Bell out of Connecticut. Um, this
Mhm.
isn't close to
No.
me. Loved Skylar Bell, and then he did a lot at the combine to improve his stuff. So talking about Adam Randall here,
Adam Randall.
I do think the NFL needs more giant running backs because a guy
Dude,
that's 6'3", 232 pounds and runs a 4.5 40. Let's go. I like it. 80th percent burst 80th percentile burst score to boot with that, which is pretty good. I like it. It's not somebody I'm gonna love for fantasy necessarily, but give me another AJ Dillon in the NFL. You know what I mean? Yeah, he had 1 year production, which is really scary. Very small
well,
breakaway numbers. Oh, go ahead.
well, he switched from wide receiver to running back, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just kind of crazy because it was at the same school. He was just like hanging out
Yeah.
at Clemson. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, surely this was a 1A, 1B. They didn't just tell a wide receiver that he's the lead back now.
Yeah.
But he was. He
Yeah,
was
he
the lead
absolutely
back.
was.
They were just like, we don't have anybody, man. You should probably give it a shot. And
Yeah.
then
He did okay.
it was crazy, dude. It's kind of clunky, but
Yeah,
he
absolutely it was.
avoided bad holes pretty well
Hmm.
and made some good adjustments behind the line. But his running style is it's like such slide and glide, you know. It's
Yeah.
not like choppy steps. But dude, he had 32 missed tackles forced, and he still caught the ball for 250 yards and three scores. So I think it's pretty cool, man. This is
Yeah.
another like him and Eli out of the Navy.
Yeah.
Dude, these guys, I had a ton of fun with this bracket just for some of these losers, just to
Yeah,
be
that were just
like,
a lot of fun. Yeah.
yeah, like, well,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be surprised if you go off and do some crazy shit because these, especially those two guys, the versatility between pass catcher and running back, and especially with this size, dude, we need it.
Yeah.
This dude, I don't know, man. He's not going to be the lead back in the NFL anywhere, but
It'll
someone
be
might fuck
fun.
around and give him a chance, you know?
Oh, for sure. And they should. It'll be fun. I will say I expected to see more like bulldozing runs. I do feel like if he got smacked, he got stopped. Like he
For
didn't
sure.
really run through people. But I mean that speaks to the wide receiver convert. He's like not doing that, you
He
know?
hasn't figured it out yet. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe he develops and realizes that he's 232 pounds, and can just run through folks. And then yeah, small breakaway numbers, only 26% of his yards were from breakaways. But I will say the thing that I like the most about him, it would be super intimidating for him to be your kickoff returner, which he was for Clemson. Can you imagine a 6'3", 232-pound guy returning kicks? I love it. I kind of need him on the Packers, to be honest. Let's go. That'd be so fun. But not a fantasy guy at all. Not really going to be intrigued by him in terms of that. So Skylar Bell definitely moves on to the round of 32, and Adam Randall stays here. So for our matchups for the Atlantic round of 32, we've got CJ Daniels going up against Ted Hurst. We've got Oscar Delp, no, sorry, Carson Beck going up against Justin Jolly. Then we've got Antonio Williams going up against Zachariah Branch. And we've got Damon Claiborne going up against Skylar Bell. So that is your round of 32 for the Atlantic bracket. And we are chugging along through this year's bracket. So join us when we talk about the rest of the bracket, get through to the round of 32 eventually. But until then, we've been Rough Draft Research. You've been the audience. And we'll see you next time.
Yes. Enjoy the tournament, my friends. It's getting real.
I took a lead.